It's the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. Welcome to the 1876 after party. Man, I'm getting too old for this. Prairie View comes from behind to beat Texas Southern in the 38th annual Labor Day Classic from Houston, Texas. Overtime, 37-34. Panthers fell asleep in the third quarter, awoken in the fourth, scored on a couple of stingy stands by the defense, and the field goal attempt was good to ice the game for the Panthers. They are now 1-0. Texas Southern 0-9. The ninth consecutive win for the Prairie View A&M University Panthers. Want to thank you guys that joined in and listened to the live broadcast with Greg Johnson and Andre Davis on the lead. What a great game. And to be quite honest with you, both of these teams played well enough to win. But someone had to lose. And the purple and gold rises yet again. Both quarterbacks played outstanding, close to 300 yards each for passing and some strong running. And it's unfortunate that only one can advance, but I guarantee you this, we have not heard nor seen the last of Texas Southern. Meanwhile, the Panthers have to get this one underneath them, behind them, and focus to take on Abilene Christian September 9th on the campus of Prairie A&M University. Scheduled kickoff time will be 6 p.m. We'll give you that game live from the campus of Prairie View. Andre and Greg will be in to do their parts. Now, Prairie View owes Abilene Christian. They let one get away from them last year in Abilene. So hopefully the Panthers can tighten up some things and get ready to get refocused. This game is behind you now. You are 1-0 in conference play, and things will be okay, but you got to take care of the next thing at hand. We'll be able to talk with Bubba McDowell in detail, as well as offensive coordinator Mark Frederick and defensive coordinator Mr. Alvin Fosselman. So we'll get those three gentlemen lined up and break things down as it was. But what a game. Over 17,000 in attendance for tonight. The place hosts 22,000, so we still were missing about 5,000 people. If that was at Prairie View, it would have been standing room only. But nonetheless, it is what it is, and the Panthers get ready to take care of business. There were a couple of games of intrigue throughout the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and it was mentioned, of course, about the Alabama State-Southern game. Southern came up short, 14-10. Alabama State got something to say about that eastern side of things. They were stingy, at least defensive. I hadn't had a chance to look over the box scores or anything like that yet, but what an impressive start for Coach Eddie Robertson and the Hornets. So now we knew that the heat was on Coach Dooley when you spoke with Mr. Reggie Flood of Jag Nation, a longtime broadcaster in Baton Rouge, New Orleans area. And the great expectations from Southern, but even though this was not a conference game for Southern, they did lose to an opponent who could have something to say in the long run. But meanwhile, back to the issue at hand, as they would say, Prairie View will need to tighten up a little bit on some things, and I'm sure Coach Bubba will agree with me on that. It's something about the second half starts for the Panthers. I don't know what it is, if they're getting too many juices, bombs, whatever they're doing at halftime, and they come out like 4 flat tires. But fortunately, they had enough spares to see them through, because at one time, Prairie View was down by 10 points, and it was looking pretty bleak. But nonetheless, they weathered the storm, and that's a sign of a good team. That's a sign of a good coaching staff rallying around, not pointing the fingers and hitting the panic button, but getting together, getting refocused, and figuring out what needs to be done and how it needs to be done. And bottom line, you have to execute. Now, they're coming in, they're playing with a huge chip on their shoulder, feeling disrespected for being picked number 5. And to me, I say, let them pick you number 5, and you work your way out of it, play your way through it. And if you believe you're greater than 5, play like it. And this was a great sign, a great start on tonight. 37-34 was our final score between the Prairie View A&M University Panthers and the Texas Southern Tigers. All I can say is wow for both quarterback play. Travion Connolly did his thing. A lot of people say he's a runner. He's a great athletic quarterback, but he showed that he can throw the ball, sit in that pocket with poise, and when need to, he displayed the legs. And what can we say about Andrew Body? Exceptional young man, exceptional talent. I still believe that he is one of the top quarterbacks, if not the best quarterback, in the Southwestern Athletic Conference. I get a little kickback from that, but I picked Prairie View in the preseason to win this game, but I knew it was a game that was going to be of concern, and I'll be quite frank with you, quite honest with you, as I am here at this show. I'm glad that we play them first, because Andrew Body is not going to do anything but improve throughout the rest of the season. He's a junior right now and is nowhere but up. But on the flip side of that thing, you got to be scratching your head and even having some concerns if you are a Clarence McKinney supporter. This is year number 5, technically, if you're counting the COVID year or not, but the contract says it's year number 5. And they have yet to get over that hump against Prairie View. And we've seen some strange things happen to coaching staffs on the hill at Prairie View and at Texas Southern just because of that rival game. I believe that Coach McKinney has done it right. I believe he's a quality coach, and I believe he is doing a great job there. Let him continue to do his thing. Not my call, but I know how this business goes. Meanwhile, for Bubba McDowell, there were some people who were actually saying that Bubba McDowell was on the hot seat. I'm like, what have you been looking at? But that's neither here nor there. He has shown resiliency. He is actually, we've talked multiple times throughout the off season, a learning curve for him his first year as the head coach last year. And he said, Mike, I promise you, you're going to see a different me as a leader, a different philosophy, and a different way of getting things done. And tonight was proof of that. There were questions about could Fosselman be that guy first time as a defensive coordinator? Was his scheme going to be fruitful? Still some things to work on, but the defensive front was very impressive, very fresh with the rotations and everything. Can't wait to hear his assessment of how he thought the defense played. And all I can say is wow with the plethora of weapons that the Panthers have on offense. Multiple weapons, and you just hope that everyone stays healthy, everyone stays collective as a team to make sure that they are standing tall at the end of the season. Now, there's only one game, and one game does not make a season. One game does not bring you to the championship, but it always starts with one, and the Panthers got their start today. Now, I normally do not touch on anything other than the Southwestern Athletic Conference. People have all sort of things and natures that they tend to do. And okay, I didn't know if I had gotten calls or anything. Forgive me about that. That's what happens when you go live, right? But I've got to give some kudos to Coach Deion Sanders and the Colorado Buffaloes. And I'm going to get in there for a minute, and I'm going to get out. And let me go on record for saying, I'm not a Deion Sanders fan. Not that I don't like Deion Sanders, a very well-accomplished athlete, just raised a little bit over the top for me. But that's been Deion ever since I've known of Deion Sanders. And what I appreciate about him, he is who he is. He's not going to change, and he's going to do what he needs to do, how he thinks it needs to be done. And he went ahead and proved all the naysayers. If they don't win another game, he proved to all his naysayers, as my pop used to say, keep your mouth off me. You beat TCU, and some would say TCU got to the national championship by coincidence, fluke, however you want to identify it, but you come in ranked number 17 in the nation, and you lose to this unorthodox, unique coach. And let's be honest, they gave him a hard time because of his pigmentation. We know that. There's no shame about that. It is what it is, right? What else is new? And that's what somewhat made me say, you know what? Because this brother is facing all this resistance, I would love to see him win, especially that first game, because there's nothing like that first game, especially when you're in new territory. Now, will they fall flat the rest of the season? I don't know. Don't really care. But I'm glad that first one, you will always go back and you will remember that first time that you step on the big stage. In this case, what used to be Power 5, Power 4. Now, where they'll go from there, they'll play Nebraska next week. See if they can do it. And a lot of people have been talking noise. Hopefully, he can back it up and see what the end is going to be. That is going to be my spiel on that. I'm going to shift back to the Southwestern Athletic Conference. The Prairie View A&M University Panthers victorious over Texas Southern by the score of 37-34. It took overtime, but it doesn't matter how you get it done, long as you get it done. Now, all eyes are going to be focused on Jackson and FAMU for Sunday, 2 p.m. Central Time. This game is going to be the tone setter for the Eastern Division of the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Jackson coming off a huge, impressive win over South Carolina State, who, by the way, said that Jackson was soft. As a matter of fact, they said the entire Southwestern Athletic Conference was soft. So they kind of caved them in. It was 37-7, but technically it was a shutout. That touchdown toward the end, that was more frustrating than actually losing the game. But now it's going to be against the little brother, the little sister in the form of FAMU. FAMU, great program by Coach Willie Simmons, but they couldn't get over that hump of Jackson State, at least while Deion Sanders was in place. T.C. Taylor, long, SWAC roots, JSU alum, out to prove to the rest of the world that he was not an accident. He was legitimate. In fact, depending on who you ask, he should have been the guy when they brought in the guy. He was in line for it, but good things come to those who wait. And so now the table is going to be set. And I am truly, truly going to be watching to see how Jackson State starts, because you've done an impressive thing coming out the gate, a very emotional win. Let's see if they come back to earth in their balance of their emotional control as they do battle with FAMU. Will FAMU have enough wrinkles in the tool chest to try to do something that JSU wouldn't be ready for? Either way it goes, we're going to be glued and geared in for that game. We want to thank you guys so much for joining in with us on this 1876 after party. I do have another Prairie View programming note. Volleyball team lost to Texas Rio Grande at a volleyball match at Houston Christian Tournament. They got swept 3 sets to 0. So they actually got swept throughout the entire tournament in Houston. They lost 3-0 to Houston Christian, 3-0 to Arkansas State, and 3-0 to Texas Rio Grande. So they'll shake the dust off and get ready for the next week. That's what I love about sports. Yeah, it didn't happen the way you want it to happen. You just get them next time. And that's what we're going to do. Get ready to get with you next time. We want to thank our sponsors, the Prairie View Athletic Club. Let me tell you about the Prairie View Athletic Club. These people have put their money where their mouth is by doing all that they can for all sports that Prairie View has. Prairie View has 18 sports, and there's not one sport, even intramural and club sports. The Prairie View Athletic Club has gone out and assist in equipment, in uniforms, even travel, whatever they need. These people mean Prairie View A&M University well. They're looking for membership to keep growing and love to be a part of that. If you're interested in becoming part of the Prairie View Athletic Club, you simply dial 936-857-5817. That number again is 936-857-5817. The president is Greg Austin. Tell him that Dr. Mike Prince sent you. Let him know that you want to be a part of a fantastic movement that supports Prairie View A&M University athletics from top to bottom. They've been doing it since 1986. Give them a call, 936-857-5817. September 1st through the 4th is our popcorn fundraising event. Go to the website at obnradio.com. You'll see the link at the top of the page. Click on the pop-up store. Make your purchase today to help support our broadcast coverage that you heard on tonight with Greg Johnson and Andre Davis doing an outstanding job from Houston, Texas. They'll be traveling up and down the road, and those things cost money. Those things cost money for us to produce the games, with equipment, maintaining all that stuff. Then some might think that we're begging. We're not begging, but we are requesting. And we're asking you to strongly consider supporting that popcorn fundraiser September 1st through the 4th. The entire month of September is our listening partnership drive. And we're asking you who could and would to commit to a 17-cent a day commitment. That comes out to $5 per month, $60 for the entire year. If you can do that, you will be helping us in a tremendous way. And we're encouraging you to visit that website right now. You'll see the donation button at the open mic section and send in your support today. I am going to sign off for right now. My time is far spent here at the 1876 after party where the Panthers were victorious over the Texas Southern Tigers 37-34 in the 38th annual Labor Day Classic. Be sure to join us September 9th from On the Hill, where the Panthers will be hosting Abilene Christian. I am the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince, thanking you guys so much for joining in. And until the next time, we'll see you on the other side.